All right, guys, well, we have a big event coming up. We have a 3-day drift event, and I've been conflicted. I wish I had a 2-car trailer because I kind of want to take the Z and the Miata just in case something happens with the Miata, we have any issues, etc. Either way, I want to test the Miata out before we go. So we're gonna go do some abandoned neighborhood drifting in the LS Miata for its first drifts with the dry sump and the new engine setup, all that stuff. So before we can do that though, I am out of E85. We gotta go on an E85 run, get some E85, check over the car, and we can go do some shreds. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but excited. Wish us luck. The Miata is full of E85. It took 10 gallons, so we definitely needed to get some fuel. I have one more thing to pick up. I have a fitting for, I'll show you guys, for the dry sump. So I need to run to the post office, pick that up so we can knock that out, bleed the handbrake, a couple other things, go drifting. Having everything in here, touchpad, the package. You gotta love having a good cooling system. 154 in traffic. This thing rips so hard. Oh, I love it so much. It's just so violent, and it revs quick. What? And it's just like, rah! So violent. I love it so much. Ben's working on getting his car ready for the event. What do you got to do to it? Nothing, right? Not much.
I got to do an alignment, but I was just making sure nothing else is like broken.
Smart. Oh, that's fine. Is that a seat bolt?
I think so.
I got my fitting. So this is the vent hose. Oh, let me disconnect the battery when I'm messing with this because it's sketchy. Sketchy as heck. So yeah, so this line comes from the valve cover. So this is our engine breather. So instead of having a catch can set up, we're venting our engine all the way back to the tank, just to keep everything as one complete system, because there's a vent can off the dry sump here, which is basically our catch can for the dry sump. So we vent to there, and then that vents to here. So we're covered there. We ran the line, but I originally was gonna run a -12 back here, but I ended up running a -10 because it was easier to get weld-in bungs for the valve cover for -10. So this is the -12 fitting that is not gonna work. This is our -10 that is gonna work. So we should put this in, figure out our line length going up here and routing and stuff to keep it kind of out of the way, and then cut it, put our fitting on, and then move on. Don't let me forget to change the sway bar bolt, because I forgot to do that like twice now, but the end links I got, the bolt they include where it bolts to the sway bar is too short, and you can't, like the nut won't go all the way on. So we need to change that before we go rip on it too. We got a few things to do when we get it on the lift, a cool surprise as well. But anyway, I'm gonna do this, show you guys, and we'll get it on the lift. I get ahead of myself every time. All right, our final line is done. All the lines are done. The octopus is finished. I don't know why, but to me it just looks so cool seeing the tank back there. I know I need to paint the trunk. Just let me drive the car for a little bit, and then I'll take some stuff out and paint it real quick. For now though, I'm not messing with it. It is what it is. It's got a dry sump tank in it, so it overshadows the ugliness of the red paint. All right, I decided not to put the Miata on the lift because it's kind of a waste of time. No, I mean, this is way easier. Like, we're not doing much. Sway bar, bleeding brakes and such. So we're gonna continue bleeding the handbrake. I'm gonna actually also swap these pads out. This is one amazing thing about 4-piston calipers. Look at how easy it is to swap, or just push them out. Yeah, look at that. So I'm gonna swap these pads, because these are more of like a race pad, over to my normal calipers, like my normal foot brake calipers, and swap the foot brake caliper pads, which are just street Willwoods, into here, and hope they have a quicker bite. So we're gonna bleed the brakes, do that, and then, or bleed the handbrake, do that, and then move on to the front. We're also still trying to figure out a place to go drift. I have the abandoned neighborhood, which is obviously the coolest location, It would make for some really cool shots. It would be fun drifting, be a little hairy, which is fun. Problem is, it's kind of sketchy. You know, it's in Mexico, and when you're drifting in Mexico, you have to be quick and kind of in and out. And, you know, if I'm rushing and trying to be quick and whatever, I feel like I might not really, I don't know, get anything from it, like as far as figuring out if the car is good and whatnot. So we're trying to find a better place, but that is our backup plan. So we'll see what happens. It'll be a surprise as to where we go drift, but we're freaking drifting somewhere before this event because I want to make sure the car is sorted before I go to my 3-day event, first event with the car, and like have issues. I want to figure it out now. Anyway, back to work.
You want to enjoy stock body while you can do it.
All right, so the dilemma I'm faced with right now is since I'm getting custom wheels built for this thing, you know, like I want to go all out if possible. So I'm going to have to go over fenders eventually anyway. Eventually, the rear is going to get hit. Something's going to happen. I'm going to need to put over fenders on it. So the question is, do I want to go over fenders now so I can get my wheels built to spec and built for the over fenders so that I can get a little bigger lips and things like that? Or do I want to enjoy stock body while I can and wait to do overs? I don't know. I'll insert a picture here. I was going to film a clip, but it keeps falling off. But I'll insert a picture here I just took so you guys can see what over fenders look like. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm heavily conflicted, but I mean, I feel like they fit with the kit. My big problem with over fenders is just, this is a big thing of fiberglass. So like you blow your tire up and you can blow this up, you know? It's just, it's a lot more fragile than a stock quarter is gonna be, you know, but again, I'm probably gonna have to do it anyway down the road. So like, might as well do it now and get even bigger lipped wheels. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm gonna work on the front and then we're gonna figure out what the hell we're doing with our lives, where we're going and how we're doing it, and you know, drifting and stuff. Probably should check the weather.
The bald eagles sing.
It's looking a little rainy before we let the bald eagles sing. Do you like bald eagles that sing?
I mean, I don't know what else to say.
So with the sway bar links, this one is like the nut is stripped on there, so it will not come off. I'm gonna have to cut it off. So that's kind of annoying. 2, I took the other one out and I was gonna go ahead and grab a new one, but I have mostly all metric hardware left over from cars and stuff like that. This is not an M8 and it's not an M10. It's like an M9, it's in between. So I'm assuming it's standard. So I'm gonna have to go to the store and get one at some point. They're working for now. I'm just gonna put it back in and we'll deal with it later. But yeah, once I do that, put the wheels back on and we're ready to shreddy. All right, so I'm getting the last couple measurements for the wheel company. I was gonna keep this a secret and not tell you guys who it was, but they have just been so rad customer service wise so far, and I just wanna give them like a thanks because they've just been like so incredibly helpful. So it's 3-piece wheels, US/Heritage wheel. I'm sure you guys have heard of them, I've heard of them. And I'd seen them posting a bunch of stuff recently with like some 15, 16-inch size wheels. And I was like, hey, like, what do you guys have in stock as far as like old school JDM 15s? And then we were talking back and forth about sizing and like what I would need and what they have. And it's kind of difficult with my big brakes, you know, that adds like a layer of complexity. So they gave me so much information, and then I found out that their Heritage wheel line, they also make 15, 16s, which I didn't realize because a lot of companies don't really make wheels that small, especially like proper like 3-piece wheels, like nice wheel companies. It's just not a super common size anymore. So you're pretty limited on options. So I found that out, and that's awesome because we're gonna be able to get a custom built set of wheels that's not only gonna be like the face design I want in the color I want, but in the sizes I want with like the biggest lips possible while clearing brakes without having to run a slip-on spacer and a bolt-on spacer, and like completely custom built wheels for the car. And I'm so hyped about that because I've always had to make compromises with wheels. Like I do not care at all for the face design of these wheels. I just like that they're legit JDM wheels, they're 3-piece and they have like decent sized lips and they fit the car okay. But I hate the face design. And then it's like usually if I like the face design of a wheel I find for sale, they're terrible sizing. So to get both and like get a set of wheels that's gonna fit perfectly on my car is just so cool. But yeah, I don't know, they've just been super helpful. Like they went out of their way to get the brake template from V8 Roadsters to be able to try to figure that out without me having to measure anything. Like they've just been super awesome. So huge shout out to them for amazing, amazing customer service. But anyway, I'm gonna measure this and start making our way to Mexico. All right, we're going for it. Weather looks like it'll hold out. Fluids are checked in the Miata, handbrake's bled. We got tools in the back, we got oil, camera, drone. We gotta kind of be in and out. I can't spend like If I had like 2 hours there, I could get cinematic drone shots of drifting, but I don't know that we're gonna go that crazy. I do want to get some out of car footage though, so we'll see what happens. Not gonna promise much of anything. For a drift car, this thing cruises pretty good. Oil pressure's great. Coolant temp's great. Almost there. Kind of nervous, but I'm pretty hyped. It's already rubbing pretty bad because we were loaded down between two people, stuff. Car's loaded down. All right, our last stop before the border. Got ourselves some refreshments, and we are ready to go. It's straight staring. There's a male guy. I'm just gonna like look past it and make sure we're good. But I'm gonna drift into here, and then it's like another right. Oh no, that's not it. It's right here. All right, made it home safe and sound. I mean, we just drove, I don't know what, an hour each way? No, like 30 minutes each way to Mexico. And no issues at all. Car ran great. The only issue I have that, well, okay, there's a few issues that we need to fix. One, you can see the tire. Smoke pours off the front tires and drift. Because they are rubbing so bad. So front needs to come up. It's lower than that. It's just the car's on an incline. Rear for sure needs to come up. We're like tucking the tire right now. Look at how close the bumper is to the ground. So that's two things. I want to increase the front spring rate. I want to throw 12Ks on the front. I'm going to bring these 9s with me to the event, and if it feels weird, but I've got the tires at 30 PSI. It still feels like it has too much front grip, and it makes it twitchy, but that's also just me not being quite used to the car yet, and the way, because the steering angle causes like a quicker steering ratio that I'm not used to. So yeah, I mean, obviously I gotta get used to the car a little bit better as well, but I think I'm gonna throw 12s on the front. With the weight over the front, I think that'll be about right. The 4 might be a little too soft on the rear, but we're gonna try it. We're just gonna see if we can get it high enough. The problem is with the lower spring rate, the car ends up sitting lower. So we might not even be able to raise it high enough with these super long shocks, because we do have a lot of weight in the back. We have the 488 diff with the axles. We have the dry sump tank, which is full of oil. And all that stuff. So, but regardless, aside from those, oh, the other thing, streetcar wise, put another boot like this down like under the carpet to seal that and seal the plate. Like put rubber around the plate and seal that plate off. So, because right now I'm getting a bunch of hot air through where the factory handbrake would be, which isn't a big deal. It's just, you know, makes it hotter inside, which, you know, the whole point of having interior so it looks clean and is as comfortable as possible on the street for a track car. So definitely something I want to address. So yeah, just some suspension ride height changes, maybe a little bit of alignment changes, a little spring rate change. But all in all, man, she ripped this new motor and the dry sump setup. I mean, it feels nutty. Like it feels sick. I did set the tires at like 28 PSI because I didn't want to have like too crazy much grip and the car be going too fast in drift while I was out there trying to get a feel for it, because I knew it was narrow. And, you know, in hindsight, I kind of wish I had more grip. The handbrake still doesn't work in a straight line, but it is working in drift. So something else we need to address. I think it's just a master cylinder size change maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I'm super stoked. Like, that was so exciting, that drive. I hate the fact that I'm worried about the Mexican government coming and finding me while I'm doing that, and I'm like, you know, it makes me anxious, but I just love like being in third gear, coming down through that turn and like letting the car grip up and straighten out. Like it was hauling. Like you probably can't tell in the video, but I mean, we're cooking. We're probably doing like 70, 75 by the end of that straight, and it just feels rowdy. It just feels rowdy. The car just feels great, and I'm just so happy. Like I said, this is the first car I've ever owned, built, etc. As a drift car that's actually fast. Like it actually has like a decent amount of power. All my other cars are like the Z power level, or maybe a little better, like the Vet, you know, 300 horsepower, 3,000 pounds, or like an RB25 240 making maybe 250. You know, I've never had a car making 340, 350, weighing 2,000, you know, 2,400 pounds. I've never had that. So I don't know. It's just super exciting, super fun. Really glad everything went well, coolant wise, oil pressure wise, you know, everything. Car ran great, cooled down, didn't even get hot. The hottest it got was 180. All in all, very successful first drift. I'm very excited. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video now. Grapham's coming over, we're gonna hang out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.